The Joe Rogan Experience.
The only way, in my view, and I'm not an expert on this, is discourse and having a platform where people can argue at each other. And you could stand by and watch and see things through. Otherwise, if you're silencing, it's very, as we talked before, and I think any right-minded person would agree, it's a very, very slippery slope.
I agree. Did you see the Ben Shapiro meltdown on BBC?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
That's a good example. It's a good example. Look, he didn't handle it well. He knows he didn't handle it well, and I like Ben.
But do you know
I like him a lot. I think he's a really nice guy. I like talking to him. I don't agree with him on many things, but I really like him. He's a really good guy, and I think he's a very smart guy. And I think he's smart enough to admit that he fucked up.
He did. He went on Twitter, and here's the thing. I did a meme making fun of him. It's on my Insta, and people are white knighting for him, and I'm like, he owned that he played it wrong.
He fucked up.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, I got. And that's to his credit.
Yeah, and it highlights to me, more so than anything, the problem with two things. One, doing a remote show.
Sure.
Where you're in Los Angeles, they're in the UK.
Sure.
Where, he was talking to him like he wasn't there. The British guy was. Because he wasn't really there.
Right.
And then the other part is that short time format. You don't have enough time. You don't have enough time to have a conversation and just talk.
But Ben knows this. Ben is a pro. And he knows what the BBC is too.
But he's also a pro at doing those things.
Yes.
We just shout talking points at each other and talk over and Ben talks super fast, because when he talks super fast, it's really hard to keep up with him. And he sounds smarter than you. Like he's very smart and articulate, and he talks fast. So it's like, woo, it's hard to handle.
He rose to prominence when he was on Piers Morgan.
Yes.
Talking about guns. And if you thought that BBC interview was rude, Piers at one point just goes, "You're a real stupid man, aren't you?" Like, that's your line?
Wow.
And Ben didn't storm off. He was just like, no, I just think when a government becomes usurpacious, that it's very important for the citizens to have,
Yeah.
And he handled
That's a good impression.
Thank you. Well, we go to the same shul. He handled it amazingly. So for him, as he admitted, for him to lose his shit, and also to be like, I'm popular and I've never heard of you. That's just because you never heard of someone, and I'm sure he would admit this, is of no relevance to the validity of what they're doing.